burnt into the rock.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On April 9th, 2025, a video was uploaded to the channel Man Dog Wild. At first, it looked like any of his regular outings, an evening hike through the mountains with his loyal companion, Yeti. The landscape was calm and picturesque. Locals call this area the Skinwalker Mountains, a region wrapped in folklore, strange sightings, and unexplained activity. The evening began quietly, the air crisp and the light fading. Yeti darted across the trail with her usual energy, but without warning, her behavior shifted. She slowed, stopped, and lingered close by, as if guiding her owner towards something hidden.
Yeti is either one of two things.
She's a very simple dog. She's either completely unstable and constant zoomies, or she's very serious. And right now she's slowed down and she'll stop and she'll want me to follow her to take me somewhere or show me something. And at this point, now she's not going to stray too far from me because now she wants to show me something. We've just been out here exploring as we usually do around this time, a little earlier than this. It's getting a bit dark now. And we've been on one of these abandoned roads that go to nowhere. They've just been left. Walking these dirt roads, and Yeti comes across this little trail. She slowed down and she wants to show me. See, she's right there. She's not running. She's not got the zoomies as she normally does. She's staying close by. She's scenting something.
Their walk carried them off the main path and onto a narrow trail that felt untouched and enclosed. As the last light drained from the sky, the forest grew heavier with silence. Deep within the overgrowth, they came across something disturbing.
Yeti was checking out this stuff. It looks like a... no idea. Wow. That's just scary, huh? Waiting.
Sitting in the middle of the trail was a child-sized stroller, half covered in weeds and dirt. Inside rested a doll with a face so worn it looked unsettling in the dim light. The placement felt intentional. They were far from neighborhoods, cabins, or campsites. Whoever brought it here had carried it deep into the woods, deliberately leaving it behind. Nearby, carved into a large rock, was an even stranger discovery.
Well, at least we're out at plantation now. What is that? Is this sister? It's creepy, huh? What is that? So, this is where she leads us? I don't know what. That's super strange, huh? Like burnt into the rock. So obviously these mountains are strange places. Someone's come out here and made this. They've made this and I don't know what to make of this. What's your guys' thoughts on this? I have no idea. Maybe it's some kind of worshipping thing. Maybe it's just a sign. Maybe hunters kind of marker. I don't know.
A dark, burned-in marking, The symbol looked ritualistic, etched as if scorched by fire. Its meaning was impossible to identify, but its deliberate design suggested purpose. Was it a hunting marker, a tribal emblem, or something more sinister? As they moved to leave the area, movement caught his eye on a ridge in the distance.
I'm not going the way of the plantation. That's just way too thick, so I'm figuring I'm gonna go around. I definitely saw lights. Caught a video also. I took a look, and I don't know, obviously maybe we kind of did the same thing and we all turned our lights off and moved away, but when I turned around I couldn't see the lights anymore, and yeah, they probably couldn't see mine. But the strange thing was, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the sound. It's a really high kind of pitched sound frequency, whatever. I think they call it mosquito or something, and they use it to move people away from places they don't want them hanging out. So when I stopped, it had this ringing in my ears. It's horrible, really high pitched.
Faint lights flickered, shifting and then vanishing when he switched off his own beam. Moments later, a high-pitched ringing pierced the air, sharp, unnatural, and without a source. The frequency was eerily similar to deterrent devices used in cities to push people away from unwanted spaces. But in the remote wilderness, it felt more like a warning. Despite it all, Yeti stayed unusually calm. The dog, normally alert to every sound and scent, didn't bark or move. That silence was almost more unsettling than the events themselves. Taking a longer route back, he avoided retracing the same path. The lights never returned. The sound faded, and the marking on the rock remained unexplained. Some believe the stroller and the burned symbol point toward ritualistic activity, deliberately placed in remote areas to avoid discovery. Others suggest the high-pitched tone could have been man-made, perhaps from equipment designed to keep trespassers away. The combination of objects, markings, and sounds paints a picture that feels intentional, as if someone wanted to create an atmosphere of fear. Was this a random series of eerie coincidences, or evidence of something more organized hidden in the Skinwalker Mountains? And perhaps the more unsettling thought, did Yeti stay calm because she knew exactly what was out there? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Van life can feel liberating, but in an instant, it can turn into a nightmare. Dee had been living on the road for years in her self-built van, which she called Ladybug Out. But in October 2021, she shared a video about the single scariest moment she had ever faced while traveling.
This is gonna be an awesome night. I'm here for a couple nights, heading up north again. It's cooler by the lake here. I'm in Oklahoma, and just wanted to show you guys what I get to enjoy for the next couple days.
It began like any ordinary day. She parked her van in Oklahoma, went for a short hike, and enjoyed the crisp outdoor air. When she returned, the weather had shifted. The wind grew stronger, howling through the trees as night settled in.
It's crazy out here. It's crazy windy. Said that the wind would pick up. It'll be a nice sleeping weather. I love when the wind is howling a little bit through the trees. Such a beautiful, beautiful sound. So while the wind is howling outside, I am snug as a bug in a rug in my little cabin on wheels. There's another camper right over there. It's a tent. They came in today. Can't believe that they are camping in this weather in a tent. I'm surprised that their tent is still up. Actually, I don't know if it's still up.
Nearby campers pitched their tent despite the conditions, but Dee retreated to the comfort of her van, unaware of the chaos that was about to unfold. Hours later, the peaceful night was shattered by blaring sirens. Her phone lit up with an emergency alert. A tornado warning had just been issued.
There's a tornado warning. So there was a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning issued just a minute ago. And so I am not sure what to do in this situation, actually. I thought that somebody would come around. The tent campers hightailed it out of here in the motorcycle, and so I am just going to go to a spot that I'm not so open because I'm very much in the open.
Disoriented and half asleep, she realized her van was parked in the open with little protection. Lightning split the night sky as she scrambled into the driver's seat, searching for shelter.
Bathroom shelter. That might be my best bet if there is any more severe weather. So I am back here in the back. It's just raining lightly now. I drove over to where there's a concrete bathroom shelter in case sirens go off again. It's the only place that I saw that was remotely a shelter, but it seems like the worst of it has blown over, and so I feel like I'm safe. I'm just going to remain alert and awake tonight, check the weather every so often, but it seems like the front moves by pretty quickly. That's always the part where the tornadoes form, between where the cold and the warmer air is, right at the front, and that was when the sirens went off. I looked at the radar and it was right over us, so I think it was just to alert us that there could be possible tornadoes and to watch for them and to be awake. So this is something that I thought I'd show because I have talked about other situations of preparedness, and weather preparedness is something that I haven't covered, mainly because I try to stay out of weather like this. And I did. I checked the radar and it said that this front wasn't moving in until much later today. It's about 2:30 in the morning right now, and the weather alert was issued at 1 a.m., 12:55 or something like that. And yeah, that is something I was not counting on.
She drove until she found a sturdier location near a concrete bathroom facility, deciding it was her safest option. There, she waited in the dark, watching the radar on her phone as storms rumbled overhead. Rain poured, winds whipped, and the threat of a tornado loomed. The system eventually passed without striking her directly, but the experience left her shaken. Out on the road, protected only by thin van walls, the force of nature can make anyone feel small and vulnerable. Dee later reflected that storm systems like the one she encountered often produce tornadoes along the boundary of colliding warm and cold fronts. The sudden change in weather that night likely created those exact conditions, catching her off guard, despite checking forecasts earlier in the day. For those who live on the road, safety depends on being ready for the unexpected. But here's the chilling thought. What if the tornado hadn't passed her by? What if it had touched down directly where she was parked? Would she have had enough time to react, or would this story have ended very differently? The channel Ramble Soul is best known for peaceful outdoor adventures, minimalist camping trips, calm lakeside views, and slow evenings by the fire. Their videos often serve as a quiet escape into nature. But on this night, peace was nowhere to be found. From the very beginning, something felt wrong. As they reached their chosen lakeside spot, the wind was already howling hard enough to make even setting up camp nearly impossible.
Beni sürüklüyor. Allah Allah. Ha, çakamıyorum da. Neresi önü, neresi arkası onu da bilemiyoruz ki. Ay! Başımıza bela ya bu.
Şimdi şurası PVC.
Mecbur çakacağım şunu bir iki tane.
Tamam.
The terrain was exposed, the ground uneven, and every attempt to raise the tent ended in chaos. Poles were ripped from their hands, stakes refused to hold, and the fabric snapped violently in the gusts. At one point, the entire shelter nearly took off like a parachute across the site.
Hayır!
Of ya! Nasıl yapacağız biz ya?
Hop hop hop!
Paraşüt gibi oldu bu.
Ha.
Aa! Aa!
Geldim. Tamam, gel. Yuh! Evet oluyor.
Ay!
Böyle. Çekemiyor musun?
Çekemiyorum.
Evet. Bas. Bas kuzu. Altına bas. Allah Allah. Bu ne lan?
Even after hours of effort, their small victory didn't last. Rain arrived suddenly, driving down in sheets that soaked everything before they could seal it. Mats, sleeping bags, even the flooring, all drenched. The harder they tried to stabilize the tent, the more the storm tore it apart. What was meant to be a cozy camp became a battle for basic shelter. Earlier drone footage had captured the beauty of the lake, but by nightfall, the scene was unrecognizable. Supplies were scattered across the flooded ground, food ruined, and what little cover they had left was collapsing under the relentless wind. Inside the shelter, water leaked from seams, pooling under their sleeping gear. It became clear that staying wasn't just miserable, it was unsafe. Forced to abandon the trip, they packed what little remained dry and tore everything down in the pouring rain. Soaked and defeated, they retreated to the car, the dream of a tranquil lakeside night drowned by the storm. This video stands out because it isn't about a ghostly figure or a strange sound in the woods. The true force here was nature itself. Weather is often underestimated in outdoor adventures, but in minutes, it can turn a planned escape into a test of survival. For all the preparation, one element beyond control is the sky above. Watching the chaos unfold, one can't help but wonder, was this just an unlucky storm, or does nature have its own way of reminding us who's really in control? And if they had chosen to ride it out instead of leaving, how much worse could it have gotten? On January 5th, 2025, the Indonesian channel Om Mama Nu uploaded a video documenting a solo overnight deep within a remote plantation. The site sat between a rubber forest and oil palm groves. On the surface, it looked calm, but beneath that calm was a dark history that locals say has never left. Years earlier, this land was at the center of a violent dispute. Multiple people were injured, and at least one man was killed in brutal fashion. His body, discovered with signs of extreme trauma, became the root of chilling legends. Stories of a restless spirit still wandering through the trees, searching for justice or release. The creator is no stranger to unsettling locations. His channel is dedicated to solo horror camping, often in places tied to tragedy or spiritual lore. But from the beginning, this night carried a different weight. The air was heavy, the stillness unnatural. There were no signs of people nearby, only the faint hum of insects and the glow of a small fire. The evening began like many of his others. He cooked, set up camp, and positioned a CCTV camera outside to monitor the perimeter. But as hours passed, unease crept closer. Strange cries echoed from the treetops. Rustling stirred in the brush. Then came an eerie silence that swallowed every natural sound. Just after 2 a.m., the activity escalated. A piercing wail rang out. Again, more noticeably, as if unseen hands were testing the grips. There was no wind, no animals. The motion was deliberate and silent, almost as if something was announcing its presence. When he stepped out with a flashlight, the forest remained still. Yet the charged air and the sensation of being watched never left. hours later, while reviewing the CCTV footage, he found something chilling. For just a few seconds, the camera captured a pale, translucent figure standing beyond the tent. Human in shape, motionless, before fading into the trees. The timing was no coincidence. The figure appeared just after the bike began to move. The rest of the night brought scattered knocks, shifting shadows, and stretches of oppressive silence. At one point, he even questioned whether making it to dawn was worth it. But he stayed, committed to endure whatever came. By sunrise, the forest grew quiet again, yet the heaviness never lifted. The wail in the distance, the shifting bike, and the pale figure caught on camera all pointed to something present, not imagined. Quiet warnings, each one closer than the last. Some believe the violent history of this plantation fuels the activity, the restless spirit of the man killed during the dispute still bound to the land. Others speculate the translucent figure was a manifestation tied directly to the bike's movement, a spirit using physical objects to draw attention. Whether folklore or something more tangible, the evidence caught on camera suggests this was more than imagination. Was the figure simply a fleeting shadow, or the restless presence of a man who met a brutal end here? And if the warnings were escalating, what might have happened if he had chosen to ignore them and stay another night? It was Sunday, July 16, 2006. Two brothers wandered away from their campsite in Tofino, Canada. Their parents stayed back at camp while the boys decided to explore, hoping to spot some wildlife on camera. Locals spoke of deer and even bears roaming the area, and the brothers set off into the forest. But what they encountered wasn't anything they expected. Deep in the woods, they spotted a towering dark figure, humanoid in shape, but far too large to be a person. Standing at least 7 feet tall, it moved with a presence that immediately froze them in fear. One of the brothers fumbled for the camera and managed to capture a brief glimpse before the figure disappeared into the trees. Terrified, they sprinted back to camp, but curiosity pulled them out again. Later that evening, they returned to the spot. What they found only deepened the mystery.
We're in the enchanted forest at Tofino. Right by that tree over there. Over there. Yeah, that one. We saw it. Let's go see if I don't know. Okay. Shit. Check the ground. I don't know. Maybe. Wait, come here, come here. Look at that. This is, he ran backwards, right? See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know. Like, look. Yeah, I bet, like, any foot would, like, cause some sort of indentation there. I don't know. We need to, I don't know. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. How are we going to mark this? Give a pan around. Give a pan around. Look, over there, left. Yeah, okay, that's it. The camera's good.
Massive footprints pressed deep into the muddy ground, far too large to belong to any known animal. The markings suggested weight, size, and shape unlike anything they could explain. The footage eventually made its way online, sparking debate that continues to this day. Some insist it shows evidence of a humanoid creature lurking in the Canadian wilderness, possibly even Bigfoot. Others argue it could be a hoax, or perhaps an undiscovered species that science has yet to catalog. The forests around Tofino are vast, isolated, and filled with dense growth, making them the perfect setting for legends of creatures hiding from human eyes. Whether the boys filmed an actual cryptid, a trick of the light, or simply someone in the wrong place at the wrong time, the fact remains. The prints and the figure were never explained. So what exactly did they see that day? Was it proof of something humanity has yet to discover, or just a fleeting shadow in the woods? And more importantly, if you found yourself deep in the forest and came face to face with a figure like that, would you dare to stay and investigate, or would you run? Bear has camped in countless places, but there was one site he had been avoiding ever since his last visit, a stretch of wilderness where he once stumbled upon a random set of stairs deep in the woods. This wasn't just any forest. The area was infamous, nicknamed Murder Road, where multiple bodies had been discovered over the years. The killer was never caught. Despite the dark history, Bear decided to return, determined to face the location that had once sent him running.
It was creepy. I was hearing some sounds back there, ended up getting scared and not going any further. Super duper scary place though. Multiple bodies have been found here. I will leave a link in the description for the other videos that I've done here that have also been scary, crazy, creepy. You'll want to see them. Links in the description. I'm stinking nervous and excited about going back there because I haven't seen it since the live. I've been thinking about this place. I've thought about those steps, but tonight's the night that we go back to see them again. Anyway, only this ain't your ordinary woods. So like I said, the links to the other videos here will be in the description where you can hear more about the stories and the background of this place. But I will say there's been mob activity and multiple bodies and no killers ever caught. Oh my goodness, this feels so crazy. So far, I gotta say, this place has been truly terrifying for me.
As soon as night fell, the atmosphere shifted. Darkness pressed in from all sides, his flashlight beam barely cutting through the trees. Strange sounds echoed in the distance, metallic clangs, faint whistles, and eerie howls that seemed to grow louder the further he walked.
I just heard something. It sounded like metal. That sounded like metal. What was that? Did you guys hear that? That was like, I couldn't tell if that was a whistle or like a howl coming from in there. Could that have been an owl maybe? That was a weird owl. I've heard a lot of owls now. Oh my goodness, that shadow. I got myself freaking spooked, guys. Oh, I don't even want to do this no more. Oh man, I don't even want to do it no more. What is that? Some keeps making a noise right over to the right. That was like this place is so freaking creepy. Oh my god, I got goosebumps going through my whole freaking body right now. We just started. Again. Someone's making vocally tight noises over there.
Eventually, he reached the stairs. They stood alone in the middle of the woods, detached from any structure, their purpose unclear. Against his better judgment, he climbed them. At the top was nothing, just more trails leading deeper into the unknown. But before he could press further, something caught his attention.
Crap. Oh, crap. Hold on. No. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Okay. Oh, no. No. Oh, crap, hold on. Dang it. Man, I'm like in a little ball on the ground behind some crap right now. What are they doing?
Through the trees, a light flickered. Another person was out there. Bear quickly killed his flashlight and crouched low, watching as a torch beam swept across the forest, scanning. The presence wasn't random. Whoever held that light appeared to be searching. The beam grew closer. Heavy footsteps crunched against the forest floor. For several tense moments, he stayed frozen in the undergrowth, barely breathing, until the light nearly fell directly on him. Panic surged, and he broke cover, running through the dark. The pursuit was unclear, whether the person had seen him or not. But the danger felt real, and the forest suddenly seemed far more threatening than before. Abandoned staircases in the middle of nowhere have long been tied to unsettling folklore, with many claiming they signal cursed or violent places. Combined with the history of unsolved murders, it's possible this area attracts people with darker intentions. The presence of an unknown figure with a light raises more questions. Was it another camper, or someone deliberately patrolling the woods that night? What exactly are the stairs doing in the middle of a forest with such a grim history? And more disturbing, who was the figure with the light, moving deliberately through the trees? Were they simply another wanderer, or something tied to the sinister past of Murder Road. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.